I thought tonight was a good workmanlike game for us. Obviously, it would have been real easy for this team to come out flat after the big weekend, and I thought the guys really did a nice job in the pregame, in batting practice, and our infield work, and prepared to really play a good game today, and we did. So happy we won 9-0. I thought Shook and Gilreath were excellent on the mound tonight, and they kind of set the tone for everybody else.
Raise your hand and get a mic to you. Start on your left, Colin.
Yeah, kind of starting with just what did you see out of TJ tonight? And I guess with that performance, do you think he's kind of earned the conversation to be in that weekend role?
Weekend role, probably not yet. But I'd love to see him pitch like this every Tuesday night. There's no doubt about it. I thought for the first time this year, he was a consistent strike thrower. I mean, it was strike after strike after strike. That's why he went into the 7th inning on 100 pitches, had 12 strikeouts. To me, that was his best command of the year, and we want to see that repeated. If he pitches like that, he's got a chance.
Coach, George Khalil is obviously maybe known more for his defense. How much do you think that play and getting some time at short has helped his offense? Yeah,
I just think he's playing with some confidence right now, and he's playing really good defense. I thought that play early in the game, the backhand, was an outstanding play, and then he's taking good at bats right now. And obviously the home run was really big for us, but he's really given us a spark there, no question about it.
Andrew hit another home run today. Just how big is that for this lineup now that he's starting to hit for average and hit some extra bases as well?
Yeah, we thought we could have a pretty solid lineup this year, and we want to be good 1 through 9. And with George hitting the home run in the 9 hole and Eister continuing to seemingly get better and better as his season is going on, it's going to be real important. You want to be able to win in a variety of ways, and we want to have an offense that's powerful, but also takes their walks when it's there. Again, just 9 runs tonight. I'm very pleased with that, and Eister's been a big part of our offense.
Yeah, from a broad standpoint, how do you go about trying to handle your pitching staff with the injuries in a 5-game week? And tonight may be an indication, but how do you go into a midweek trying to manage things as well? Do you want to spread guys out with short outings, or have a couple of guys go deep?
With playing the 5 games this week, but also really it's 8 games in 10 days when you count the Clemson series, we need a couple guys to give us what TJ gave us today, because you can't just spread out 2 and 3 innings at a time over 8 games in 10 days. You just can't do it. So we need a couple guys to go 7 innings. Obviously Reed did. Shook went into the 7th inning today. So you go into the game hoping a guy can give you 6 or 7, and if he can't, then that's when you go to the 2 or 3 at a time. But we're starting each game hoping a guy can give us some length.
What was TJ doing that was so effective?
He was throwing everything for strikes. Fastball command, the changeup was a plus pitch with plus command. The breaking ball was good. He just throwing all his pitches for strikes and getting ahead of hitters. He hasn't had many outings where he had all his pitches working and for strikes at will. Tonight I thought was his best outing since I've been here is in terms of stuff and command, and that's why I think he had the success that he did.
Do you feel like you've hit on your batting order for the moment with Campbell at top, Allen 2, and that so forth?
I think we're close. Obviously, you're always evaluating. You're always looking to see, and maybe against a lefty, you might see a tweak here or there. But for the most part, I think this is who we are. And I think the guys are getting pretty comfortable in the spots they're in. So we're not going to make wholesale changes just to do it. I think you're looking at probably what is pretty close to our best team right now.
Mark, sorry if you've already answered this, but looking at TJ's performance tonight, does that maybe look at an audition for a weekend spot somewhere down the road?
That was asked already, so maybe. But for the time being, we need to solidify the midweek spot, because these midweek games are extremely important too. But he obviously puts himself in the conversation. He obviously won't start this weekend. We'll see how the guys do this weekend with their opportunities. But when you strike out 12 guys on 1 hit in 6+ innings, you're in the conversation.
Who throws tomorrow?
Tomorrow it will be Hayden Lehman.
Coach, you mentioned the importance of midweek games. Just with how they sometimes went not your way last year, how much emphasis are you putting on them in this season?
I was asked that yesterday on a radio show, and we emphasize we try to win every game we play. whether that's the coaching staff, whether that's our message to the team. Every time we play, we expect to win and prepare to win. I think what is lost is that when you play midweek games, it's all about your pitching depth. Do you have enough pitching depth from the guys you don't use on the weekend to win on Tuesday night? And to me, the great teams in the country have enough pitching depth so that they win most of their midweek games based on that pitching. And hopefully we're starting to develop that kind of depth. This is the last week we have to play 5 games in a week, so hopefully we're moving in that direction. But midweek games, when you're at South Carolina, are won with pitching depth. I think we have a little bit more of it this year than we did last year, and that's why we're seeing so far some more success in the midweek games. But again, we have to stay healthy and we have to keep going.
You touched on it this weekend, but a lot of JUCO guys are obviously getting some big cracks with Luke and Andrew and Reed. But what's the biggest challenge with a JUCO guy coming from that level of play to jumping now into SEC ball?
Well, I don't think it's quite the challenge it is for a high school kid. JUCO kids have been playing with guys that are 19, 20 years old, and sometimes 21 years old, where the high school kids are used to playing with 18, 17, 16, and 15-year-olds. So the big jump is just, okay, the game's a little faster at this level. That's why you try to do as much as you can in the fall and the early spring with getting them used to the speed of the game. But for our hitters, our JUCO hitters, it's just the fastball's a little bit faster, the command's a little bit better, the breaking stuff's a little bit sharper, and our guys so far have done a nice job making that adjustment. All right, thank you.